Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 90 of On the Backs of Gods. Ooh, man, we're trucking along. I don't know what to do for 100, but if anybody else has an idea, you could put it in the comment box, if there's something special, TPK, whatever you guys are vibing. But welcome. I am your DM, Jillian. We have our players. We have Mac, Josh, and Krista. We should have our ranger on the way shortly, and currently our cleric is in deep spiritual slumber, guarded inside of a seedy inn room with caltrops on the floor, and I'm sure that is safe and good for everybody involved. It's been a hot minute. We recently just did a one shot. If you're interested, you go over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/the Dice Cult, if you want to catch up on some cowboy centric shenanigans. But if not, I think I will go ahead and jump in, give us a recap from things that happened many a millennia ago, it feels like. And we'll get to it.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Demonetized instantly.
Like we were making money to begin with.
I was emotionally making in my heart.
Do emotional dollars count towards rent?
No, but it makes you feel good sometimes.
Fair enough.
Anywho, you all
Can't
had
eat
arrived.
Smiles, Jillian. Sorry.
I can certainly try. This just sounds like a challenge. But you all arrived in town with, while arriving in town, completing your mission, which was to get Ink's traveling museum across the coast, and you did that. Sadly, the corpse of Ink is inside of the museum, but it seems that a figure in town, a druid who met you along the way, betrayed the people she was working with just to help you guys get Ink to where they're going. Seems interested in keeping Ink alive, and at this point, bringing Ink back into existence. You all arrive in town. There seems to be some discourse as you make it through the town square. A tree has been felled, and you recognize this tree with white bark, purple leaves. One of Bosch's trees. Somebody in town had felled it, and it seems that many people were upset about the situation, and some not so much. Sort of a back and forth, but that was quickly ended by Gorbjorn planting some magical beans, leading to first a new batch of eggs, bringing Gorbjorn back to motherhood, and then a gaggle of screaming mushrooms that burst forth from the ground, getting rid of the mob instantly, and giving the guard something to deal with, I suppose, besides people. So, one problem for another. But during this time, Danelle leads you to the inn where Bertro is currently staying, saying that she would introduce you because Roshan is currently looking for information about his missing sister. You arrive at the Laughing Ocean Tavern to meet Bertro. And as you wait to meet him, Roshan, you are introduced to a little bar cat with a little name tag that says Bertro. Being a bit bamboozled, but Danelle approaches and asks if you would like to actually meet her boss. To which you agree. The team goes downstairs, and you are introduced to Olavi Strand, who is flanked by two heavily armed twins. Olave starts his conversation with Danelle, asking to be updated on what happened, being informed about Ink's passing, seeming to be a bit upset about this, and then begin to ask Danelle about your skill sets, to which she gave a scathing review of no. 1 star, not a fan, saying that you lost a fight and ran from a fight, and she would not hire you to do such.
Fair.
And she was sent on her way. And
Not
that is when
before
you got
being
to talk
asked to kill us.
Oh, that's the good stuff. You
Oh
guys
God,
remember.
that's right.
Um,
Yeah, sure.
um,
And she was real ready to do it too.
being
Oh,
asked casually by Olave to murder one person in the room, she immediately turns to Roshan to strike, and then Olave's like, "I'm just kidding, calm down," and she stands down immediately. Um,
Still
but you are
real
then,
hopped on adrenaline, as I recall, though.
oh yeah, she was. There's no mistaking the murder in someone's eyes.
Mm.
But you eventually get to talk to the man himself, who seems to know Rose and recognizes Roshan because they share a face, and seems like he would be willing to give information on Rose's location, or at least where he last saw her, or knew where she was going, perhaps. But he wants something in return.
Of course.
He asks you if you are better at killing or better at thieving, to which you all kind of flip-flop around a bit, like, oh, we don't know. Murder and thieving, similar things.
Mm. Mm. Hmm. They're
Eventually,
equally bad.
these things are equally bad to us.
We're equally bad
Eventually,
at them.
landing on doing a bit of a heist and
Hmm.
stealing from the person who wished to see Ink dead and succeeded. Paid a lot of money to see it happen. But you agree to steal 3 objects from Silas Steel's house. And for a little bonus, find some incriminating evidence that's embarrassing, because he would love to embarrass this man. During this time, Gorbjorn is getting real comfortable with Mr. Olavi Strand, becoming fast friends, if you will. After you are done discussing, you eventually get to meet Lafayette, a large towering knoll who worships the goddess Ire, a goddess of medicine, he says, and is going to attempt to bring Ink back to your realm. Gorbjorn is asked to join, as it is best to see a familiar face when you come back, and Roshan convinces to just get to watch from a corner. Everyone else left outside, and during this ritual, gruesome manual heart palpitations. Eventually, with the snap of a jaw breaking through rigor mortis, Ink is brought back screaming. Hundreds of voices ringing out in the room, as Ink fights to get away, but the body is weak and does not stand a chance. The irises of the eyes no longer a snow white, but black, as he weeps and kind of holds on to Gorbjorn. As I suppose your mission fully wrapped up for this, Ink and his cart both arrived in town. And we're going to start with Fen and Nana. Now, we're going to go back just a little bit before the screaming happens. You were left in a storage chamber next to the room where Lafayette, Gorbjorn, and Roshan are working. Subterranean area, and currently Danelle is in the doorway from which you came and watching you. You've been informed that this ritual will take an hour. What would you two like to do?
It's a good question. We have an
Depends if
hour.
you're staying, going.
I feel like unless Fen's got a particularly compelling idea for something else we could be doing that was productive, I think Nana's first instinct would be to kind of hang close by just in case they need something brought to them, something goes wrong, they need someone to run for help. That would be Nana's first instinct.
Yeah, I think Fen would probably want to stay nearby as well.
So are you staying in this storage chamber? Because as it starts to, like, you guys like kind of look around and start to vaguely get comfortable. Just Danelle kind of closes her eyes for half a second and takes a breath, and then gets comfortable against the door jamb, keeping you directly in line of sight.
I mean, that's fair. We're in her boss's place of business. I'm sure we're really not okay to be just left on our own.
It's a good assumption.
You know. I mean, that being said, I feel like Nana would understand that and just be cool with it. I think that she would turn to Fen and strike up a little bit of conversation. You asked me a while ago what it was exactly we were doing. And I've been giving it a lot of thought. I don't have a concrete answer for you yet. But I feel that the danger that is building here in the East, particularly between Bosch and the kiln, is something that we've got to find some way to hamper or to stop.
I agree, and can't help but feel some responsible. I'm trying to keep my voice down so as not to be over by Danelle.
Mm. It's crossed my mind as well, but at least for the time being, all we can do is try and make up for it. And I don't know how our ploy is going to play out. Be honest, I rather wish I could ask you along to tail and keep an eye out from the shadows, but I'm certain that Bosch would find you, and if anything were to happen to you, I can't allow it. I can't.
Well, I can't in good conscience allow something to happen to you either. Putting an awful lot of trust with this plan in Bosch to behave as chivalrously as he has in the past. But I'm not sure he's one to be trusted fully. But as far as I'm concerned, he and the kiln deserve one another.
Mm.
And still the best idea we've had so far, other than putting you in harm's way to accomplish it.
I don't know what else we could do. I don't think there's anyone else in the party who could convince Bosch to take part in such a gambit, except maybe me. He hasn't reached out to anyone else specifically. No one else in the party has really any kind of connection with him. He sought me out by name. So, it's something. And I'm not a social engineer by any stretch, but I feel as though if I can see him work a little, see how he thinks a little, maybe information can be gained that would be useful. Maybe one of you all could figure out how to use some of that reconnaissance and advise me on how best to lean on his weaknesses.
Well, all I ask is just don't stare too deeply into his madness, because I'm sure that's all you'll like to see.
I don't know that I haven't already. It's been a very long road, and my sleep has not been quiet for a very long time.
I
But
completely understand, and I can relate. I mean, who'd have thought a year ago we'd be here, east of the Hammer, bringing a changeling back from the dead, doing the biddings of a crime lord. We've come a long way, Nana Henning. I just hope the distance we've traveled has been in the right direction.
I don't think any of us ever really know if we're going the right direction. The more I hear about Ave, who I always thought had a plan. It always felt like he knew what he was doing. I don't
I was
think
got
he
the
ever
impression
did.
that he wanted people to believe he had a plan.
Yeah. I think he pulled that off magnificently.
Might still be the wisest man I've ever known, but maybe he stared into someone's madness or his own for too long.
Maybe his own. Who knows?
Once again, I've told you before, Donna, don't be Ave. Be Nana.
I don't know, Fen. All Nana really wants to do is run off into the woods and play sentry.
I'd love to off into the woods with you just like when we were younger, but these are strange woods here. Long for the
Certainly
woods
not
at home.
woods I would run into. But that's the reason why I need to run into these woods. This conundrum. I'll have to gaze at least a little while into this madness, as you say, or I won't be able to tell where I'm going. And if nothing else, I need for you to wait for me out the other side. And if I am too far gone, don't let me go home. I cannot bear for my mother and Hertha and all my family and friends to see me wrong. All right? Please.
We're going to get you home, and we're going to get you home in good shape, tip-top condition.
Fen.
You have my word, Nana.
I believe your intent, Fen, but good intentions have only gone so far, all this road, and good intentions have not saved ink. Have not gotten us any closer to finding the butcher's daughter.
They might have done.
Maybe. We haven't got any leads. Beyond the obvious. I might well find her when I go and ask for corruption lessons from a madman. But I don't know. Fen, I want to account for possibilities. Potentialities. I want to be realistic here. If everything goes wrong, if I go wrong, you are my closest and most trusted friend. And you have the straightest shot of anyone I know. If I am too far gone from who I am, if I am too far gone from who I ought to be, Please, at least let my mother remember that. And not what I wind up being. Please.
We won't go home. If that happens, we won't go home. You and I set up a little hut in the woods somewhere far from home and live out our sad, miserable days, collecting dead man's fingers in jars. And maybe Saga can visit us sometime.
Wouldn't that be nice?
You have my word. But the idea is get you in and out of this as safely as possible. In fact, you don't want me to watch or to be nearby, but it'd make me feel better if you took Jenny and let her go if something goes wrong. She can find me or she can find Gorbjorn and we can find you.
We'll need a fair few grubs to convince her, I expect, but so long as she's willing.
Keep her safe and warm and well fed in your pocket, and then let her go if you need to.
All right. Okay. Fenbar Muscaria, you are an excellent friend, and a good elf, and a good man.
And I would rather have no one by my side here, as a friend or otherwise, than you, Nana Henning. I sure hope this ritual is going well. Sounds like a lot of screaming.
Then
Has that happened yet?
Oh, but the conversation does dwindle a bit. Taking into account Danelle is 15 feet away from you.
Yeah,
and it's just sort of like you watched slowly through that conversation as Danelle started to go like from like this to this with her head sort of facing a bit away. But she's still within this very small chamber with you. And just sort
of course. She's heard us talking about plenty other shit. It's like at this point the cat's so far out of the bag.
So many secrets about you guys.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that isn't going to come back to bite us in the ass at all ever, I'm sure. We'll be fine.
We're an open book.
We have no
We're
secrets.
no good at keeping secrets. We're shit at it, so we don't bother.
It'd be like that. But
we're just big dum-dums.
Danelle eventually during this time at like the 30-minute mark switches sides on the door jamb. And time ticks away, getting close to, you can guess you're getting near an hour as you sit there for a moment. And the room gets colder, the one you're in. Temperature drops a bit. And that's when the screaming starts. Hundreds and hundreds of voices on the other side of the door. And Danelle like instantly props up. And she takes a step towards that door and then faces you guys.
That normal.
And stands there. I knew this shit's fucked up, so. And she like glances back at the door. That sounds fucked up.
Have you ever witnessed one of these?
No, and I don't plan to.
That's fair.
Just give them a minute. But now she keeps her position in front of the door between you guys and where your friends entered.
Is the screaming ongoing or has it petered out?
It goes on for a couple minutes.
Jesus.
And it sounds like as if this choir, different voices just keep dropping off until it's eventually one voice strangled. And then that stops. And it's kind of like a ringing in the ears with how quiet it is. Just the shift. The room starting to warm up again. As it was already cold, but I mean just the amount that it had dropped ever so slightly. But meanwhile, in the room, now that everybody's all caught up with each other, Ink is currently, Gorbjorn, grabbed onto you and is holding on as tight as they can. And the thing is, being somebody who's been in wrestling competitions and combats for a good chunk of their life, you can tell when somebody is trying their hardest. Ink is trying to hold on to you with every ounce of energy they have, and it is like a child trying to hold on to something. It is an incredibly frail being holding on to you at this point in time. The black eyes, manic, just face now stained with tears, as color doesn't return per se, but like a bit of flushing out in the cheeks, just like in size, no longer gaunt as they were, around the rib cage, starting to fill back in. And you can hear Ink starting to murmur and just like trying to talk to you, trying to get words out. And the first thing you pick up on is, "It hurts." And repeats this over and over and over and over.
Gorbjorn would be shushing Ink and then like kind of like trying to rock him a bit, or them a bit.
When it
Oh, and I wanted to activate my wolf eyes. That was it. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
when it goes down to a singular voice and then to "it hurts, it hurts," I think Roshan would look at Lafayette and ask in a hushed tone, "Can I touch them to heal them?"
You watch as Lafayette has currently been staring at the ceiling since Ink woke up, and has been doing like a silent prayer, like of thanks, and then stops and like looks all the way down at you from just this incredible height of this very disgusting looking being, to be honest and fair. And then like looks over at Ink. If you want to, and begins to like open a satchel at their side looking for something.
Josh would like to know what they're looking for, but Roshan's going to go over and use the once a day and heal 10 hit points.
Okay. Sitting at a solid 11 hit points.
Nice.
We're doing it. This happens, and you can see that there's like a relax to the shoulder, and where the stomach was healing from where Lafayette physically put their hand up under the rib cage to kind of kickstart the heart. You see that heals up a lot faster. It was starting to, but that definitely makes it start, finishes up the stitching there. And Ink seems incredibly confused and trying to like grasp where they are. You hear a lot of wheres, just like where, I can't, and then like looks around like,
I would be like, shh, it's all good. We're in what's this town called? It's like in the middle of, in between, right? Is this no?
we're past between, we're in Noaten.
Noat. Okay, yeah. It's like we're in Noaten. Shh, it's okay. The cart's safe. Nothing was taken.
Ink looks at you and like nods in understanding, and then speaks to you in a different language than common. What language do you both know?
So I know Undercommon and Orcish.
Okay. Roshan?
Oh, me too.
You're
Abyssal, Abyssal, Celestial, and Infernal.
Covering the
there.
bases.
It sounds for the whole gauntlet. You recognize it as Abyssal.
Okay, that's concerning.
And the thing that he says in that was, how did I get here? And then goes back to common, and starts to relax a bit with the shushing. And then the back tenses up again and the eyes go wide. And it's as if the horrors of it all sort of kind of came together in that moment. The adrenaline faded. And at this point, you watch as a large clawed hand reaches over and places their hand upon Ink's forehead. Lafayette leans over and it says, you watch just like a soft flare of the eyes, a gentle white goes across Lafayette. You were in a cold place, and the good Lady Ire brought you back. Okay. And then you hear a gentle shh, mimicking your own. And you watch Ink's eyes flutter and their head fall back. And they are unconscious, asleep. And Lafayette looks to you. It's better if they don't remember. And like just like nods and starts to walk towards like a pile of stuff in the corner of the room.
Gorbjorn would have wanted like a affirming like hand on Lafayette's shoulder kind of thing, like good job, kind of like you fucking rock kind of thing.
Coolest dude here. He looks at you like he's very aware. He's like kind of gives you a gentle nod. But he goes to the corner of the room and picks up what looks like a bundle of blankets. Olavi asked to keep Ink here. We'll keep him warm, safe, until they wake up. And goes over and begins to like easily, like handling a child, begins to like bundle the body up in these blankets. The body returning to that of a living person, still incredibly pale, but alive, as you watch the chest slowly rise and fall. Lafayette looks to you. Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you.
And gives like a motion towards the door as if you may leave now if you like to.
Gotcha.
With your wolf eyes. It's strange. The situation in a whole, the room, it's almost like there's a magical mist in it, which over time is now beginning to fade after you've activated your wolf eyes. And you could see that Lafayette, from their hand, cast 2 spells when they laid a hand upon Ink. Ink has a very magical glow to them, which is also fading along with this fog. And just your companions in the room in general have a bit of an energy to them, but there's nothing that stands out just besides like the air is thick with energy is what you're seeing.
Gotcha.
Does he see the shadow do anything interesting?
Question. What's that guy up to?
Good call.
I want to know.
What's that bitch about? Interesting for you, Gorbjorn. You've seen the shadow a few times, hanging out around Roshan. Not chilling in here. You don't see the shadow anywhere.
Awkward. I wanted to activate him earlier, but I was like, I was too late.
But would you two step out when motioned?
Oh yeah, I need a fucking drink.
I need to go beach. You open the door and Nana and Fen and Danelle are in this room. Danelle kind of glances over.
Nana's on her feet once the door's open and Gorbjorn and Roshan are coming through. How did it go?
Ink made it back.
I think when you ask that, Roshan kind of puts it all together, what he just watched, and he blanches a little bit and just gives a thumbs up and then goes back to writing.
Uh-huh. Mixed vibes. Mixed vibes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Unsettling proposition, this whole thing, start to finish, so that tracks.
There might be like a tear or two on Gorbjorn's face. Whether it's from horror or happiness, we don't really know.
Yeah. We'll never know, boys. Lafayette sort of leans over and like goes, have a good evening. And just like this soft chuckle as he closes the door behind you, leaving you in this room with Danelle, who has now made her way back to the other door and has vaguely stepped on the other side of it. Like, look at me walking through this door and leaving.
I'll leave too.
In a leading sort of motion.
Very aggressive leading sort of way. Like, look at me leave.
That makes sense. I mean, there's nothing that Nana really wants to do down here. Not like she wants to push past the very tall hyena man to look at the corpse that he just reanimated. So
let me look at this.
Nope. Done with that. Thank you. We'll ask for some details if she feels up to it later.
Did we get a time frame from Olavi about when would be best to steal from Silas, or?
You were given the time frame of by tomorrow night.
Okay.
What
And
time
night
is it now?
I'm sure is relative. It is currently, wrote this down like a smart person might, and can't find it.
Oh no.
I believe we're at, I can't find it, I recall. It is around 6 p.m. currently.
So
we've
evening
got
of
like
one day.
24 hours.
Ish.
Basically. Also depends on what you can, if you want to stretch the rules of tomorrow night.
Could go as far as midnight.
It could. You don't
24
know.
to 30 hours.
No
Hell
time
yeah.
like
So that's your time frame.
no time like now.
Yeah. Danelle leads you all up and out. While she is going, she sort of steps in line with you, Nana, and just quickly murmurs under her breath, "You're going to be followed. They are going to watch you. Behave."
To whose standard?
Yes. And like glances back down.
All right. Thank you.
And opens the door at the top and waits for all of you to step out before closing the door behind her.
Okay. I think we would all file out, and does that lead us into...
You are now in the tavern.
In the tavern. Okay.
You walked through Olave's space. He was not there.
Okay. All right.
But you're currently in the tavern. The door closes behind you. Danelle sort of looks you all over. All right, have fun. And she begins to walk off into the crowd a bit towards the bar.
While we were passing through Olave's space before we made it to the tavern proper. Sorry, I'm kind of echoing on myself, I think. I would have liked to ask Danelle for any sort of details she could provide on Silas. Like, is he a fighter? Is he a caster? Like, what can we expect if we encounter him?
She glances at you. I've never personally gone on these missions, and I can only assume he is a man. I have not seen him wield a mighty sword, and I have not seen him cast a lightning bolt. So a man, perhaps? It's the best I can give. I don't know the man personally.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you for your help. Does he?
I tried.
Does he have a
She
great
sort of murmurs
retinue?
that
Does he
under her
have?
breath.
Does he have a retinue? Does he have hired guards, hangers on, people who are loyal to him for money or something else?
Where can we go scout him? You know?
I know what could help. And she kind of like gives you a nod. She gives you the address.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely help. Address is good. A place to go. At least we can stake it out ourselves.
And now you know that Silas is a man and where he lives.
All right. I suppose as we're coming out into the tavern, this is Mac trying very hard to remember and having a very smooth brain moment. Is this the same complex in which we have rented rooms, or is that a separate building elsewhere in town?
It's attached to it, but the
It's
bar
a
is the
separate
same
building. Yeah, it's like two buildings that are touching, but you have to walk out of one to get into the other.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. And the inn is expressly an inn, and the tavern is expressly a tavern.
Yes.
Very well. Is the tavern super busy at the moment? Still pretty quiet?
It's pretty
I mean, I
busy.
know it's 6.
It's late. It's
Yeah,
pretty busy.
6. That's so there's a good bit of noise, chatter, and such.
You think if you had been upstairs, you would not have heard the cacophony of screaming.
That's good. Probably good.
From the amount of noise up here, you don't think you would have heard that.
So Nana would kind of like to pull the party over to one side for a mini powwow. All right, so I think perhaps best for us to stake up somewhere, figure out a plan, and figure out what we need to gather in order to execute it. Should we stay down here? Should we go up to the room?
I would just like to say, if anyone does go to check on Tordrick, watch your step. There are caltrops on the floor in his room.
I suppose if someone was going to try to get to get at him, to get at us, that's a good precaution to have.
I just don't want you to step on them, that's all.
I appreciate the forewarning. I would not have been pleased.
I think it would probably be best to, well, first have a drink, and then just do scouting, reconnaissance, see what we can see for a while, and if we feel comfortable, whatever, we can make plans tonight, but all maybe right. Somewhere a little more private.
I think that's wise.
Agreed.
Okay. Let's have a drink, and let's start doing some scouting afterwards.
Sure.
Who has the glamour armor?
I believe Nana wound up with that.
Yes.
Is that right?
Can you cast disguise self with it, or does it just disguise the armor?
Only the clothes. Only
okay.
clothes.
You decide what it looks like, color, style, and accessories, but the armor retains its normal bulk and weight.
I can cast disguise self on myself.
I was just going to say, maybe we should put Prince Gorbjorn to bed. Put Nana, you could put on some more inconspicuous clothing. We could look a little more incognito before we leave. Just to help blend in.
I think that's best, particularly given, we did sort of throw a warning shot across the bow with certain individuals in the woods, and they may be on the lookout for us. Best for us to be
also
as
true.
Inconspicuous as possible for the time being.
So before we go up to the room and change, Roshan needs like 2 shots. Like, they got tequila here. Is there tequila in Norseland?
Tequila. Basically, whatever you order and whatever size glass it is, it'll be the same drink, and it'll cost you 2 copper.
Whatever it is, it's 2
if
copper.
You ask for a shot, they will pour whatever this liquid is that they were putting in the pint glasses into a shot glass. So
okay,
that's kind of the energy.
Okay.
I'll look to Gorbjorn and say, I'll race you through a pint.
All right. And I'll pay 4 copper for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me con saves if we're chugging.
Oh yeah, one of us has proficiency and con. The other of us has none.
And
I got
guess
a
which one
4.
challenged which one?
I got an 11.
Oh wow!
You
A
probably
4
also
and then-
rolled a 4.
I rolled a 3.
There you
Oh
go.
my God. That is the good old fashioned Golunder quack pack rolling standard that I expect.
Okay. You get your drinks. Roshan, you're thoroughly beaten, as you knew you would be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You get drinks, and you go to your rooms to get changed. I am kind. It has been a month. I'm going to give you the information that you received about this this current job.
Oh, thank God.
Currently, you have been provided the address. You are currently looking for 3 items: a painting of Skoll and Hati chasing the moon, an ornate carpet depicting the realms, a palm-sized crystal ball on a golden tripod, and the bonus of anything embarrassing that can be used to make Silas's life unpleasant. Here's the extra information you gathered. The crystal ball is in a safe of some sort. It is not part of the visible thoroughfare. The other things implied to be somewhere around the house. The crystal ball, a little harder to find. You know that 2 groups, people, you're unsure of size or number, attempted this type of break-in before and were not seen again. From Olavi's point of view, he just said preferred, but take that as you will, that there be no signs of a break-in, that there is no killing, and especially no killing of Silas. And it needs to be completed by the next night. This is the information you were given.
So kill everybody, take everything that's not boarded down,
Yeah.
and
Fucking wreck it. Oh, we know how this is gonna go.
Oh yeah.
we're robbing a
Totally
rich
fair.
person's place. It's like there's gonna be more things to rob.
I mean, like,
Gorbjorn rolling up
Gorbjorn
his
is just
sleeves
gonna be
like,
like
oh, no.
running along every shelf with the bag of holding in
Oh,
one
yeah.
hand, just.
Yep.
Tchotchkes? This man has tchotchkes?
Now he doesn't.
We could attract a
Figurines?
saga with the trinket shop we make.
Oh my
She'll be
God,
dead.
we could. She would
Look at
flock
this cool
to
shit
us.
I have. Then again, somebody just kind of broke ties with her current god, so we'll see how that works out. Anywho, if you are dressing up or disguising yourself or waiting to do that, people who are doing that now, what are you doing?
Nana is going to utilize the glamour aspect of the armor to just basically make it look like the most unremarkable clothing based on what she saw as we were coming into town. Like whatever the average peasant nobody that nobody cares about is wearing, that's what she wants the armor to look like.
Like dark colors.
I mean, like maybe darkish colors,
This is
whatever
a sack of
seems-
potatoes.
you know.
I am potatoes.
I am potato. You don't have to notice me.
I would love either deception or insight, please.
Well, all right. Deception
I'm-
or insight.
Going to do the same thing, but to change my hair, I'm going to give myself a center part so that it frames my face.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
totally a different vibe. Like, who is
It's
she?
trendy.
It very much is. Like, you don't know. You take
She
an
doesn't even
undercut
go
and
here.
just like
It
turn
doesn't
it down
even
the
go
middle.
here.
It's like it's
This is a
It's a
very cool
totally
high
different-
schooler you guys are hanging out with.
We got a zoomer.
We do. Ooh, well, I'm doing deception because that's one of my worst skills. I don't know if a 14 is a pass.
I wouldn't say if this was a real pass or fail situation. It is a sliding scale of how good it is.
Okay, fair enough. I was aiming for my bingo square. I will continue to aim for my bingo square until I
Keep
get
it up.
one day.
You keep it up, buddy, because this one not gonna cut it.
God damn it!
It
Okay,
is not an immediate pass or fail situation. Just see how nice it is.
What? Okay.
Roshan has a center part. Is anybody else changing right now?
I just,
Between
like,
Bjorn.
Is there like a hood
Mhm.
on my cloak that I can put up or anything, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I do. Just whoop.
Do you should put on that coat we got from a way long time ago in the valley. Those
Oh,
fuckers who killed Ave.
Oh, and I took it.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I'm
dude.
dying the cold. I think I gave that to Saga.
Oh,
so
that's right. I think
Aw,
you did.
damn.
gone.
That's right.
The murder coat, not in the party anymore.
I love that. That was so
Talk
great.
about. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about that murder in particular. But you put your hood up and you're like, easy, done. I've nailed it.
Well, it's like nobody's gonna see me anyway, so
Yeah, we
Yeah.
took off the Prince Gorbjorn face paint.
Yep.
He's a totally different person.
Completely different.
I just see Roshan licking their sleeve and then like rubbing the face aggressively. Like you got
and
gotta
now
take
it just
it.
looks like war paint, kind of like.
Just mirrored on the
Yeah,
side. You're
yeah.
like, that'll
So
do.
like he just
Yeah.
looks like any kind of orcish sort of guy, just passing through.
You think half orcs are
And
dirty?
how about Fen, are you waiting to activate your ability?
Yeah, I'm not gonna disguise self right now. I assume if it's 6 p.m. way up north in the winter, I'm assuming it's either dark now or gonna be dark really
It's
soon.
dark.
It should be dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So I'm
it's
just gonna
now probably
rely on.
7.
Okay.
What's that?
7.
Okay,
7.
I'm gonna rely on my natural sneakiness for the time being. If I need to use disguise self later, I will.
And if anybody
All of you
winds up,
meet back
within
up.
30 feet of Nana, she can do pass without trace for you until you go away from 30 feet from her.
You all either part your hair or put your hoods on.
Yep.
Nobody will ever know it's me, bitch.
It's me, the
I'm
old
new.
flower
I'm
seller
here.
from the corner on the road.
I watched some
Um,
person come back from the dead, and now I part my hair in the center. We
I
grow,
saw
we
some weird
change.
shit today, boys. You part your hair in the middle. All of you meet back up, and I assume we're gonna start making your way downtown.
Let's do
Walking
it.
fast.
Confessed.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Are you attempting to stealth now, or are you just being normal people walking around at 8 p.m.?
I
I
mean,
probably just hood up.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah,
Just like normal.
inconspicuous.
just normal walking.
No, I'm gonna cartwheel around.
Oh yeah.
I
Or
mean,
like,
he's
I got
the,
a bit.
He's the
I'm working
sneakiest
on my
cartwheeler
acrobatics.
of all time.
Well, I gotta-
Roll acrobatics if you're having a good time, Gorbjorn.
well, I'm trying to be sneaky about it though.
Oh, then roll stealth. I'm doing stealthy cartwheels, Jillian. Get it together.
That's a 10.
Okay.
Buddy,
All
you
of
could
you
have
Dice
asked
are
me.
weighted.
You could have asked me.
Gorbjorn's doing cartwheels. Everybody may or may not be aware of it.
I mean, he
but
could just be a crazy orc. Just,
He
you
could
know,
be.
an entertainer.
Distraction's not a bad
One-
thing to have.
one guy like flicks like 2 copper. That was just like
Oh, that was a beer. I get that back.
yeah.
Ugh.
Eventually, walking for about 45 minutes, so we're at like 7:45, almost 8. You arrive in a very nice area of town. The roads, it's almost like they considered where to put these ones. There is a consistent size and cleanliness to the roads. The houses seem much more put together, and a bit newer in some cases. Yes, Nana.
I only want to put in something once we get close to the address. That's all.
You're close.
Oh, wonderful. Before we actually get up on the place, Nana would. I'm assuming we're kind of like walking in vaguely the same space as each other. Maybe not like as a group.
Yeah, I'm cartwheeling
I don't
behind
know.
you
Are you all
guys.
walking separately?
I'm a bit behind everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Whatever the case, I think that
Well, I'd like to know the case now, actually. Are you walking together or are you guys trying to space out? What are you doing?
Walking casually to the right, so people can pass on the left if I'm walking too slowly for them.
I think we might have talked about on our way there to once we're getting close. What is it you want to do, Nana? Are you going to cast Pass Without a Trace, or?
either that or just straight up, we should not be in a group as we're like within sight range of the house. I don't think we should be seen as a group of 4 that could be clocked approaching the house.
Okay, that's a fine idea. Then we can.
Like either we separate and like kind of pass by it at separate intervals, go around different ways, back roads, or pass without trace. I think either would work fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to at least walk around the block and see if there's people at the front door, back door. I'd like to, if it's dark enough and not enough people and few enough people immediately around, I'd like to get on the roof of the house across the street, see if I can see into the windows and see if there's people.
We don't want two security
there.
groups out.
What's that?
We don't want 2 houses of security on us.
Well,
That's
no, but
true.
like I said, if the opportunity presented itself to see into windows on different floors or anything,
Okay. So I think some people are doing things that would be further back and some people are suggesting things that would happen very close. So I'm allowing you guys to figure out what you're doing before you get to the house. It is on the horizon.
Okay.
I think we should spend 45 minutes, an hour-ish, and then meet back like alone,
each of us doing
casing the
separate
joint,
things.
and then we should meet together someplace where we can go under a spell and talk quietly.
That seems valid. Like we can pick out a rendezvous point and meet back up after each of us has had a chance to do our hour-ish of recon.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. First, if you're approaching the house in any form or fashion, give me a stealth check.
Can I be invisible? No, I'm not going to be yet.
Okay. No. Answer your own question.
I'm trying to
Can I?
decide if
No.
Nana's going to do Pass Without Trace now or wait. Let me
I got a 22.
I got a 14. I'm doing cartwheels.
Fuck.
Roshan?
I got an 11.
Uh-huh.
I will
No, I'm good.
do-
I'm good with the 11.
I'll
I'm
do Pass
content.
Without Trace for myself before I approach the house. If people
Sure.
happen to
Give
be
me your
within...
30, please. Go ahead and roll.
Wow, wow, woo. Plus 26.
Okay. The shadows sort of lean into you and you make your way around the house. And now, perception checks from everybody.
Very good.
The hell dice.
Betrayal.
17.
Okay.
21.
18.
Bastard 20.
Ooh.
Really good perception checks, boys. If you're a person, disadvantage. Nana, so disadvantage, please.
Fine then. Not like I care. It's fine.
Get dark vision if you want to be fancy like everybody else. Just get it.
Oh, okay, I'll go shop for it at the magic shop next time. It's an 8.
There are items. 8, cool.
I guess that's true. Maybe I need to buy some fancy goggles. I don't know.
Make a level in Warlock.
Yeah, there's so many patrons about, boys. Easy peasy.
Boy.
There's patrons for days around here.
Or just like put dragon eyes into your eyes, you know?
Yeah.
I'll
Cut your
just
own eyes
scoop
out.
these out. Just pop
Replace
some
them
dragon
with
ones
someone
in.
else's.
And then ask
Perfect.
Josh or Rashawn to keep healing you.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's fine. They won't get infected if I keep healing you. But all of you, casual, stealthy, split apart and make your way around this house. It's interesting as you all like keep seeing each other in some cases where it's just like, oh, there's Gorbjorn. I'll wait around this corner. And then I'm back around again, boys. But you all continue to walk and check the place out. And we'll get a description of it in 10 minutes. We are going to take our 10-minute break. Go get a snack, go get a drink, go have some fun. And I think it's about time for a heist. So we see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, 10.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult. We just took a little break. We were on episode 90 of On the Backs of Gods and are currently staking out a very nice house for maybe a bit of robbery. The party has split 4 ways and are stealthing on their own. Let's start at just the top of my list. Fen, how are you going about staking out this house?
Like do a lap around the block, see if there's anybody outside, either out front or around back if I can see it. And see if there are any lights on inside and see if I can get an idea of how many people might be inside.
Okay. Gorbjorn, what are you doing?
I'm mostly sticking to like the outer perimeter, looking to see like if there's like a happening party like down 2 blocks, or like is there like a patrol tower of cops kind of like near the area so that we don't want to run that way. Also, I'm looking for easy people to pickpocket.
Interesting. You can go ahead and roll me. I'll take insight or perception for looking for a nice rich person to pickpocket.
18.
Yeah. It looks like there is 2 women, well dressed. Between them, they're holding hands with like a small child, and they're like, "When we get home, okay, you can have just one." And the kid's like, like just like a little snicker, like he's just won this battle. But just 2 mothers on a walk with their child, but they each have like a nice drawn satchel at the side. Are you going to attempt to pickpocket one of them?
No discrimination. Rob from gay people too.
I'm.
He is an
Nobody's
equal
safe.
opportunity pickpocketer.
Nobody's safe from me in these hands.
Sleight of
That's what you
hand.
get for walking
Sleight of
around the rich neighborhood at night.
How dare
They
you?
should know better.
They
And their hands are
should.
so preoccupied.
With
That's
a
a
child.
19 on stealth.
Oh
Or
my
sleight of
God.
hand, sorry.
Jesus.
Okay, I did say in my head I'm going to give her a disadvantage because she's looking at her unruly child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lucky day. The
Mm.
first roll was a nat 20.
Jesus.
Are you attempting to just
On a
like
sweat.
kind of flick of the knife take this satchel away, or are you trying to just pilfer something out of it?
Oh, whole patch. Like taking
Perfect.
it and it's in my bag. I don't got time to look at it right now.
Yeah, you easy. She doesn't even notice. A universe where she might have noticed, but not this one. And you have a small satchel of money, which you can look at later. And you start making your way around. Roshan, what are you doing?
So Roshan would like to first do kind of a distant, or how close can I get to it, like from the street, the house?
There is, I was going to give a rundown, but just so you're aware, there is a stone wall around the perimeter of the home, about 10 feet tall.
Okay. And how close is that to the home? Could I see with detect magic the house from outside the wall?
What is the range on
30
detect
feet.
magic? You could probably just get a couple steps into the house with your range.
Okay.
Not very far.
So he would like to take a wide lap first,
Mhm.
to see if there's anything magical about any of the walls,
Okay.
and then take a closer lap to see if there's anything magical with the house. And if that takes up all my time, then if that doesn't take up all my time, I've got a little bit more.
Sure. I mean, that's 2 walks around a house. If you have something else you'd like to do, that's fine. You guys set your hour of walking around this one house. So if there's something else you'd like to do.
And after that, he would like to send an unseen servant up to the house, kind of go back and forth for it stays up for an hour, so it'll take the rest of the time, and just try doors and windows, and we'll come up with I'll give him a little pen so you can write down which ones are maybe unlocked or loose.
So once he gets back, you hand him a little pen and hope for the best.
Yeah, and that's contingent on if there's nothing magical that might get me found out on the house. But
And Nana.
Nana is going to be, since she's utilizing Pass Without Trace, she is trying to move as close to the house as possible, so that she can clock entrances, exits, guard presence, and I suppose any sign of the things that we were asked to look for if they can be seen from the ground floor.
Okay, here is my question to you.
Yeah.
You're stepping past the wall?
Remind me again how far the wall is from the house?
20, and it's 10 feet tall. So just walking around the exterior, like Fen saying, talking about possibly getting up on a roof, that's how you'd get to see things from a distance. But if you want to see things close up, you would have to go inside the wall.
I see.
I will say, just so you are fully aware, at the entrance to the wall, all of you clock this. Nana, you clock it when you're like walking by casually in the shadows. There are 2 guards that are visible to everyone stationed right at the entryway to the fence. They are like
Okay.
1 step back, so it's like out of the corner of their eyes they could see the inside of the house, but they can also see straight ahead to the road.
I see.
So you all clock those guys.
And this is the only way in and out of this walled, fenced-in area.
Casually, yes.
Casually, yes. The wall is 10 feet tall. Remind me what it is made of?
Stone.
It is stone. Would it be possible to do a circuit? How thick is the wall? Is it about a foot thick, 2 feet?
About a foot thick. Maybe slightly more.
Would it be possible to find a way onto the wall and do a circuit around without being noticed? With Pass Without Trace in effect?
There's only one way to know.
I suppose so. That will be my attempt. I'm going to try for that in order to try and get as clear a look at inside the house, as close to the house as possible without crossing over.
Okay, so the thing is, you rolled pretty gosh darn bad on perception, so I'm not going to give you an object to help you
Fair.
get 10 feet up. I need athletics or acrobatics.
All right. I can do that. Athletics or acrobatics? It's gonna be athletics in this case.
That's neat, because I was about to say, I don't know if acrobatics is right. I was just like, that doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, like, a little swoop could potentially
But
work.
there's nothing to like rally back and forth against, so.
Okay, fair enough. Well, lucky for me, that's a 21 on athletics.
Yeah, it's you find little foothold spots and are able to drag yourself up, and you start casually running the perimeter.
Just Naruto running it. No, I'm kidding.
And Fen, are you going on top of a parallel roof?
Yeah,
Or
if that's the best way to
something?
see. Yeah, if that's the best way to see over the wall. as inconspicuously as possible. Unless there's like a tree I can get up or something like that.
You know what? Roll me a luck check. Let's see if there's a nearby tree.
It is a 9.
Oh.
There's not an advantageous tree, sadly, but you
Damn.
do see all the houses here are kind of nice, but not all of them are as well guarded. And your stealth is also real nice. Go ahead and roll me athletics or acrobatics to get on top of a roof. All these houses are about 2 stories.
It's a dirty 22 acrobatics.
Okay. You make your way up on top of a house, sink down into the shadows, and take a gander. Everybody starts making their way around. Okay.
Around town.
Nana, it is a pain in the ass. You, out of the group, probably in the best damn spot you could be in, pass without a trace, running along the wall looking at it.
Yeah.
It's so damn dark out. If
Damn it.
you are just running the perimeter and just either nerves or just the lack of light from where you are is making it a pain in the ass to learn anything as you make your way through. But it's easy to see that there are at least 1 to 4 guards walking the house. You
Okay.
can't tell if it's the same guards or not.
Okay.
So there's
Anywhere
2 at the
from-
front,
Okay.
1 to 4 walking inside of the fence.
Okay. All right. Okay.
This is what everybody else who rolled very, very well on perception sees.
This is why Nana delegates.
All of you see the 2 guys at the front. Fen, from your perspective, you can see that there are 2 guards walking the perimeter on the inside of the fence. From your viewpoint, would you have tried to be in the front of the house or the back of the house to see which part?
Wherever there are more windows.
On this house, each side has at least 1 window. And I can tell you this, which is apparent to most of you. All of the windows have curtains. There's no light coming from the house. To roll perception for this guy, 1 second. Okay. What Nana does not see is that there is another guard on a balcony on the 2nd floor above the front door. So just from her angle, was a little too high up, a little too dark. She couldn't see him. But there's a guy chilling there. I'm nice enough. You all make your way around the house in different forms or fashions.
May
You can see that there is.
I only wanted to ask perhaps a clarifying question. Obviously, definitely not going to learn anything useful about the house because I'm fucking blind. But are there trees that are passing betwixt myself and the house? Is there flora
Just luck check.
cover?
There's no fancy tree about. You can see that there's a garden
There is a garden.
in the back. In the back of the house, there's a garden.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be like tall plants, mainly
It is
just
not
stuff close
tall
to the ground.
shrubbery.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. We can
Anywho,
rule shit out if nothing else.
There is the entryway door. There are 2 windows on the front 1st floor. Window on each side. And there is a door in the back. This seems to be a much smaller door, not as presentational as the front door. You can see that there is a balcony with a guard on the 2nd floor. 2 windows in front, 2 windows on side, 1 in back. There's no lights coming from the house, but the guards are on patrol, each of them with a little light. Roshan, making your way around. Looking at my diagram. No magic.
No
Nope.
magic.
Muted. Yeah.
It's just I know what he's at. I can feel it.
I can lip read.
No magic. Nothing pops up.
Good.
Could you roll stealth for your unseen servant?
Sure. Does it have a stat block?
It gets advantage.
I know
'cause
he
it's
has 1
invisible.
hit point. That's all I remember about unseen servants, and that they're very weak babies.
Does it get advantage since it's invisible?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're invisible, you can have advantage.
The
I don't
first
know
was
how much.
better. And if I give it my stealth, it's a 15.
For now, sure. He makes his way around. The thing is, I wouldn't have had him roll, except he's going up and jiggling people's doorknobs.
Yeah.
So he goes to the front door, unassuming, unthinking. And he shakes the doorknob. And he makes his way away and around, taps gently on a window, makes his way around and tapping on windows and shit. You present it with a piece of paper and instruct it mentally to write if it found anything open. It did not. So you
This
just
is a
stare at this
paranoid
blank piece
fucker.
of paper. So who locks their
mean-
doors?
And they're
A
In a
guy
nice
who's
neighborhood. Ugh.
A guy who's had 2 burglaries happen already.
Yeah, this
is
guy's
who.
had 2 burglaries.
Unsuccessful. Get cocky already.
Unlock your door. And
What are you
Come out and
afraid
fight
of?
me, you coward!
give us a chance. Boo. But if there isn't anything else to be said from that, you all can reconvene at a determined point off to the side somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what you have learned. There's some windows. There are 2 doors. There's a balcony. And there are no lights on inside.
And I've learned that I still can't see shit at night.
It's like there's 1 to 20 people walking the perimeter.
Who
Unsure.
knows?
Could be more, could be less. I'm unawares.
Is there
but
a
all-
magic shop in town?
You all can fight me physically. From just
How
like
about-
conjuring it up in your mind, you have no idea.
How about an alchemy shop where they can give us some dark vision eye drops?
You think about it really hard and like fingers crossed, maybe, but you have no idea.
Who knows? We'll have to shop
Um,
later. Maybe in the
I feel like
morning.
Am I missing something? Yes.
We could
Roshan,
ask
your
Danelle
perception.
later.
Your perception was a 20.
Yeah.
You notice a guard noticing you, but it does not progress past that.
Hmm.
Damn, I really liked this middle part.
Oh,
You
well.
push it to the side.
Fine.
Now
okay.
he'll just have to put it into a mohawk.
But all of you reconvene and share your information. All of you know the layout of the outside of the home.
I think I was spotted, so I cannot approach again from the front. But
Okay.
I think if we can get people quietly over the wall in the back, that door, all of the doors are locked, but I can't imagine the garden door has the most secure lock.
I found one way up the wall itself. It's not easy, but if one of us could climb that, put down a rope, others could come over it. We could pull the rope up behind us. That's one potential way.
We'd
I-
have to be quite quick because there are 2 patrollers, but I think it's
2.
doable.
Well,
I was worried it was 4. 2 is much better.
I do have thieves' tools. It costs us a fair amount of coin, but I do have them, and I know how to use them. Could potentially use them to lock a door. Roshan said you were seen. I know it's nighttime and maybe a bit out of place in this neighborhood, but what if you were to do some busking out front? You'll play a nice Yuletide carol or something on your
A
lute.
hurdy-gurdy.
Uh,
I
might get the guards' attention for a bit, and
This
particularly if
late
we
at
can get
night, that might be attention we may not want, is my only concern.
think it's a 50-50. If they've seen me, I don't know if they thought I was casing the joint, but if they see me again, I think that would put them on high alert.
I will say it is now almost 10 o'clock. Time she is a chugging.
That's true. So we've all like shared our intel. We know what each
Everything,
other
you all know
knows.
the same amount of information.
All right. Okay. So, do we want to try this tonight, or do we want to prepare tonight and attempt tomorrow?
I don't know if the conditions will be different by tomorrow.
Not here. Let's do it. Am I here for this? Sorry.
I mean,
Yeah, all of you are
sh-
together.
Yeah, we all reconvened.
Unless you can
I
think of something we need that we don't have.
am always a fan of preparing more. So I would say wait till tomorrow, see if we can purchase anything in town that might make us quieter, sneakier. But I agree, there are no lights on tonight, and that might not be the case tomorrow.
Did any of
Well-
the guards see you?
Yes, one of the ones at the front.
It was one of the guys walking. You
Okay.
happen to just line up at certain points.
Was he cute?
Hey, big boy.
Hey, it's pretty hot.
Hey!
He even had like the light like below him, and it was like lighting from below, which is like not the hottest of lightings.
But
Looked
he's got a
pretty good
strong
still.
jaw, so it kinda
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just, dude, solid jaw. Pretty good looking.
Maybe
A
I'll leave him my
17 out
number.
of 20, if you will.
Ooh!
I think it's probably best to go tonight. Since
I
it looks
agree.
quiet. Does anyone have any objections?
I
Once-
can only suggest that perhaps, at least for either our approach or our retreat, I can cast Pass Without Trace one more time tonight. Should we do it on the approach or on the retreat?
3.
Yes, I can. Really, only once. Damn. I
I know.
can-
I've used two other second level spell slots today, one of which was Pass Without Trace to do the skulking.
I can make 2 of us invisible,
Oh.
or just one of us, if that works too. So I think that would be useful for our approach, since I am heavier on my feet than all of you, I think.
Mm.
What if
Not as heavy as Tordrict, but touch heavier than the rest of us.
we time it? I could turn corner and run and take out everybody.
Gorbjorn, we're trying not to kill or harm anyone on this particular job. That was one specific request,
I think
for which we would get paid fully.
Olavi would be highly impressed with you if we were able to get in and out unseen, unscathed, and with everything in tow.
Using
In
egg
and out
power.
like a plume of smoke.
Using egg power, he's gonna like sit there like,
Hmm.
So my
Okay,
thoughts.
I can maybe lift us over wall.
That would be useful. That would be helpful. My thoughts are this: we all approach from behind the house. Gorbjorn lifts us over the wall or on top of the wall.
Or at least one of us, and they can mention once the guards passed.
Agreed. And then all of us together, as quickly as possible, as close to Nana with Pass Without Trace on, to the back door. I use Steve's tools to open it. Gorbjorn, give me the handy haversack, and you take the bag of holding.
Andy
We'll split up.
Haversack is with Saga.
Oh.
Rude.
Oh.
Taking
Okay.
our
You
magic
only have the
items.
bag of holding.
Rude!
I paid
Terrible.
money for that.
Yeah, you have the bag of holding. That's all.
Okay,
All right.
well.
Well, once we're inside, perhaps split up into groups of 2 and search separate rooms. Find the 3 items, and then potentially something embarrassing if we can. Roshan, you strike me as someone with an eye for scandal.
I first
Look for the bed chambers.
Parts the hair in the middle again. Bitch, I know, bitch. I know. Ooh.
I got this, bitch.
And if anything goes wrong, there are a couple options available to us. I can always cast rope trick, which we can hide in for up to an hour if we can get up and into it unseen. Or I could disguise myself as one of the guards
Lead them away.
and give some sort of distraction.
False alarm.
Yes. I don't know what any of them sound like, but at least I could do something like that to lead them away or mislead them in some way.
What if we take out guard and put him in house, and then you disguise yourself as that guard and take
How
his
about we
spot?
leave violence as a last resort?
No.
You know that
His
Olave
hand
would
is
be
shaking in the moonlight.
I have so
very
much
impressive.
rage.
Olave would
have
be
so many
so
emotions.
impressed. Gorbjorn, imagine how impressed Olave would be if we did not harm a hair on any one of these men's heads and still won.
I still like to hit people.
I know you do. I know.
And
I know.
as best we could tell, do most of the guards look to have been human?
Roshan would be able to tell that they are humanoid, probably in the human to elf range. You can't get a good look at their ears. They are in armor. Got a nice little hat on.
See, I can
Oh.
knock them out, and then we can check their ears.
And then
and then we find
Well-
like some elf friend for you.
I would-
Right.
I would assume that any of them carrying a lantern likely to be a human. And if they don't have a light source, then it's possible they're an elf.
I will say everybody has a light source.
Even the one up on the balcony?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just sort of kind of sitting next to them, but every single one of them has a light source. It's the only source of light in the area.
All right. Any other suggestions?
Let's go now.
I have a suggestion, literally a suggestion, the spell. If
Oh.
we get behind the house and are seen, there's a chance that I could beseech one of them for aid, and they'd be compelled to do it.
All right.
But I'd rather just get in quietly.
And not interact.
I, as always, would rather not make new friends.
And
We know,
The-
Finn.
the more that I'm thinking of it, perhaps we should use your pass without a trace on the way in. Who cares if we get caught on the way out?
It's a fair point.
We're running. We're trying to get out of there. Let them see us. We, at that point, hopefully we have what we need. And
It won't matter.
Fuck them.
Fair enough. All right.
Agreed.
Okay. Let's do it. In and out, quietly. I think if we do split up into groups of 2, I believe, Roshan, you and whoever goes with you ought to go for perhaps one of the higher floors. It's likely to be where the personal chambers are.
Particularly if Roshan and whoever he's with are invisible. So Nana, maybe you and I stick together under your pass without trace, and Roshan and Gorbjorn become invisible while they search the upper chambers.
I think that could work. What do you two think?
So it turns out I've got a lot of useful spells. In otherwise, I could silence us. I could put silence down at the back door once, because I think we can get to the back door quietly enough that they won't see us. But unlocking the door may be another thing. Would you rather not make any noise as we try to get in? And if it so happens, we can still stealthily break in.
Well, I might be a little rusty with these tools. I've never used this set before, and it's been quite a while since I picked any sort of lock. If we need to break in, then silence would definitely help. But maybe we should see how attempting to pick the lock goes. And then if Gorbjorn needs to knock the door down, then silence would help in that situation.
Okay. Well, I will. Are we ready to go then?
Yeah, let's do pass without a trace. I like that.
Yeah, I'll do. You can do pass without a trace, and I'll do invisibility on me and Gorbjorn.
Do Fen because he's going to be the one on the locks.
I'm already
Then
pretty.
Nana. Let's go.
I'm
Nana.
already pretty sneaky. So if someone else would rather be invisible,
because I don't want it. I don't.
Okay.
Need it.
I don't want it.
No.
then
wanna see it.
how about Nana?
Okay,
You and Nana become invisible, and
that'll help too because she can scale the wall again, or I guess we don't need a rope if Gorbjorn can just lift us,
You
but we
up.
can put a rope up there once we get over or something.
Yeah,
for
put
him.
rope for me.
Yeah. Well, if she
Yeah,
can
that
climb
would
up,
be useful.
you can climb up.
Yeah, both of you can climb up and sit on top of the wall invisible.
Or might be able to jump straight up and
Jesus.
grab the
Yeah.
edge. It's
9-foot
possible.
vertical leap.
my only concern is once some of us are invisible, how do we know where one another are inside and not bump into one another?
It's a good question.
That's when we
How
split
does
up.
that
The
work?
invisible go upstairs, and we'll work our way around stealing everything.
All right,
Okay.
that works for me. Nana, let us pass without a trace.
Right. Nana will utilize her materials. A little burnt leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. Crumbles them down into ash. And a veil of shadows comes up to swallow us and cover our tracks.
Okay. I'm going to say I don't even need rolls for you guys to get on top of this wall. It is an efficient plan. And if there's people up there, you can also help somebody up. And I'm sure Gorbjorn can jump stupid high. So I'm not even going to worry about it. But I would like to know who is going up first and if that person is going to try and gauge the guards
If
and their
pass
pattern.
if pass without a trace is up, I'll go first. If you'd like
Yeah.
us.
Everybody, it's in range of
okay.
everybody. So all of you are in range, even if somebody goes up on the wall.
All right,
Yep.
I'll go
Okay.
first.
Okay, Fen, easy enough.
He'll
You are
have the best
yeeted up.
eyes.
And you start to look around. Go ahead and first give me a perception check.
a 15 on the die, and no, I should have this memorized. I add 6 to that, so 21 again.
Okay. I said first, like I was going to make you roll something else. Not yet.
Mm.
You sit there for a moment, and there is a window. Not the longest window, but a window where nobody is in that back stretch. And you kind of can start calling people up and kind of looking and starting to get into place. I would like everybody to roll stealth. If you are invisible, you have advantage.
Oh, that's nice.
Remember to add +10 for pass without trace.
29. Jesus.
34 benches.
28.
39. 39.
Wow.
When you're the
damn.
lowest with 28.
Sorry, I just
I'm
need
not
to
as
talk
light
about,
on my feet as y'all. Still ghosts everybody.
Gorbjorn just jumps straight up and lands on the fucking wall. There is no assistance. He just gets his full feet on the wall.
Jesus
He's up.
Christ. He did not skip leg day.
But you make your way forward. Who's invisible? It's Roshan and Nana. Is that what the situation is? Okay. All of you are up. You can only assume your friends are next to you. Invisible people can't see each other either, so you're like, here's hoping.
Here's hoping. I feel
and
like
all of
maybe
you-
like we at least went, you go that way, I go this way.
And you all jump up
Hup.
and slink down, moving quickly through the grass, and make your way to this back door.
Mm-hmm.
Fen, you approach the door. Go ahead and roll for thieves' tools. Are you proficient?
I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Perfect.
But I don't know.
Dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
And I will whisper some sweet nothings into your ear.
I will also give him a kingly pat on the back with an extra d6.
An invisible person whispers in your ear. Roshan, is that a bardic inspiration?
It is.
Okay.
And is yours too, Gorbjorn?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you
Oh
have
my
two?
God.
I don't know.
He can
Right.
have 2, but he can only
You
use
only-
1. So
Okay.
if he needs to go again,
This
He has
guy's
a
so
D6.
full of bardic inspirations, boys.
All right.
I
So
wish you
that's
could double
Popped
stack.
up.
But...
wrote on yours is a D8?
Yes, a D8.
Okay. So I got that's 21.
Yes.
Not even a fucking problem.
Hell yeah, boy.
It comes back to you like a fever dream. And the door is open. And all of you enter the house, slipping in quickly. And with that roll, you think before the next round, the next guard rounds the corner. And you are in
Yes.
and you close the door behind you.
And we
Mhm,
lock
mhm.
it.
Is there a key
You are-
in the lock to
you
do
would
that, or
have
is it just
to
like...
reuse your thieves' tools to lock it if you were interested.
Gotcha.
No, just quietly close it.
You just casually close it, and the room is dark. There's no moon to speak of because there are curtains on everything. Nana, you can't see your hands and you can't see anything. You're like, this is fine.
I'll put out an arm to lead the blind for Nana, so that way we can stay out of people's way together. And
That sounds good.
I'll whisper to Gorbjorn and ask, can you see anything with your wolf eyes? I don't know how often you can wolf eyes.
I use my second use of wolf eyes.
All right.
have two
You use
more.
wolf eyes as all of you enter a kitchen. You can see that this is a very nice kitchen with large wood-burning stoves, all the accoutrement that you would assume is in a nice kitchen. Nothing that stands out except in the center. There's like a large central pillar, And then around that pillar is kind of like an island situation.
Hmm.
So there's like a large pillar
counter
and then an
around
island.
it.
Yeah, there's an island around it, like a little dress. But you look around, Wolf Eyes is 30 feet.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to look at my diagram.
Oh.
Well, I'm not gonna just sit there if I see nothing. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
That's fair. Keep moving.
30 feet.
Not really interested in the kitchen.
I feel like with Roshan leading Nana by one hand, Nana is kind of like concentrating more on listening than she is on sight. Because at the very least, she's got somebody to keep her from running into a wall. So she can be at least kind of keeping an ear out for the other party members, for any guards, for any members of the household that could be coming by. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You actually do get a couple pings, Gorbjorn, but
Ooh.
none of them are coming from the kitchen. You get a couple pings from above
Ooh.
and a couple from below, but they're very small in size. Each thing is pretty small.
I will whisper that to the group then, like where
Okay.
I see him, or like point in directions of.
You point almost like directly above you and like to the side and in a couple spots above you, and you also point below you.
Oh. Ooh. Uh-oh.
And is this where the team separates? You all make your way into the next room and then the invisibles are looking for stairs? Is that what we're doing?
1 second. Is this room the one with is there the picture on the wall of Skull and Hati?
You are welcome to roll perception.
10.
This is a dirty kitchen for dirty people, and this
Oh,
is not
I-
where I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
put
can we
my
get out of the kitchen?
I thought we moved on to the next room.
Okay, no, you are now in the dining room. Taking
Okay.
a look around, you do see some paintings, and you also see a rug on the floor. None of them fit the description. There is a beautiful table and chairs, and there's also an area on the side filled to the brim with different types of drink. And this is where I'm going to separate the team. Roshan and Nana, arm in arm. Nana, unable to see anything,
This is
makes
fine.
her. You make your way into the main room where you can see the front door. In the center of this room is a large, beautiful golden statue. This statue is massive. It goes up fully to the second floor, nearly touching the ceiling above, and it is a statue of Thor wrestling with Jormungand, and the snake just spiraling upwards in just this big, obnoxious, dramatic display.
That would be
but
so impressive if I could see it.
I
Anyone
bet that's
know
cool, Nana
martyrs?
mumbles.
Roshan is going to see that and turn to Nana and say, if they have fucking Dagwood in the basement, I am going to kill someone.
What makes you say that?
Oh, there's a statue you can't see.
Obviously. What of?
Oh, a Thor and Jormungand.
Oh, fuck.
But you can see that there is a stairwell, and it's one of those arched stairs where you could go up the left side or the right side, whatever you're feeling. But you approach.
Are you a lord or lady?
Which one are you vibing with today?
What,
but
no third option? Boo, you cowards!
it would be if you're just looking at it from above, you enter on the left side, so you'd be closest to the left stairwell. You can see that there is more house ahead of you, but the stairs are right there, and you have a downstairs team.
Okay.
I feel like we should split up, to the edges first and then converge in the middle. So up first?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll head up one of the stairs, keeping an eye out for... We'll go up the one that looks more often used.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that is a clear thing.
I would say
Is it?
even with dark vision, I don't know if you could tell that.
Okay.
I don't think that
Saint
would be easy.
stone
to
and you
tell.
ain't a dwarf.
You're just like
I'm a
squinting
part
at it.
dwarf.
You don't know me or my lineage. But you both invisibly start making your way up the stairs. There are two of you in the dining room. If you go into the main room, you see the large statue, and you can see what looks like a lounge area, and then an area with an archway sort of past it. So the house is kind of a U shape.
Got you.
Would downstairs team like to approach? Start going towards the lounge?
I was actually just gonna be stealing any fancy silverware.
Perfect.
Make this look like a common robbery. So
Of
it's not-
course. You
Yeah,
don't want
you-
it to look like it was specialized.
Yeah, because then if we like accidentally steal the things that are important, it's like whoops.
Oopsie
Oops.
poopsie.
And we don't, but like it's like we don't want to leave a disguise of like, oh, or we want to leave one. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
So-
right.
Fen, you start to make your way forward, and Gorbion's like, leaving you,
I got
and
this.
starts to just
Mm.
push silverware into the bag of holding, just casually.
Mhm.
Fen, would you like to keep moving forward?
I don't want to leave Gorbjorn too far behind. But yeah, I'll move forward stealthily.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth. You no longer have pass without trace and are not invisible.
Okay, that is a 22.
Okay. You make your way forward to the lounge. Beautiful sitting area, another rug that does not match to the description you were looking for. There is in this area what you can assume is probably a family portrait. There is a tall, thin, sort of stern looking man, a woman to his side, both of them dressed very nicely, and then a young girl. You can tell that this is like an older painting, bit of wear on it just from a casual glance. Like, this kid could be 200. You don't know, because you can tell that this family is Elvish.
Okay, gonna take a careful look at the man in the picture. Just kind of note whatever details I can about him.
Yeah. Pale skin, dark hair, long, sort of curls a bit at the end, sharp features. You can't really get any of the coloration besides guessing that the hair is dark and the skin is light. But you can also see that there is something that you would consider a display area. From where you are standing to your left, there is an entryway to a spot that looks like it has paintings and small statues.
Okay. Do we see the wolf painting in this room?
You make your way in. Go ahead and roll perception. You hear Gorbjorn, while you're pilfering from the dining room, go ahead and roll stealth for me.
Gotcha. These knives and forks and spoons are pretty loud. I got a 9. Clink, clink.
So you can hear them from where you are, Fen, and you're like, oh shit. So you got to pick up the pace. What'd you get on your perception?
I got a 16.
This room full of beautiful different types of paintings and statues, but one of them is of two wolves, one chasing the moon and one chasing the sun.
Gorbjorn. Gorbjorn.
I can't hear you.
You have
over
to like
the
jog
horse
back
and-
around and get
All
to
right,
him.
I'll jog back. I'm gonna throw in a little Gorbjorn roll.
I'll go.
I'm in the heist mood,
Night.
so
Yeah.
stealth roll into the other room.
Yeah.
Hey, Gorbjorn, the painting,
Oh.
the wolf painting. It's here.
Okay.
And I'll stop and leave like a little bit left of the forks left. I don't want to be like a horrible person and leave them nothing to eat with.
They should be able to eat after this.
But I will
Gorbjorn,
go into the next room.
you go into the next room. Gorbjorn, go ahead and give me a perception check.
19.
How long does Wolf Eyes last?
It lasts as long as here I can get detect magic, but I believe it's an hour or a minute. Shit.
I think is detect magic's 10 minutes? It could be 1, 10, or an hour. It's really
10
toss-up.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You approach, the painting is pointed out to you, and you can see the slight burn of magic behind the painting. You can see it behind a couple paintings, actually. There is some sort of sigil behind it.
Okay, I am going to mark the three. How many paintings are glowing?
There are 3 paintings that have a sigil.
I'm going to point out the 3 that are glowing to Fen, and then like point at my eyes, showing that they like glow. And then I'm going to look around and then start to steal some non-glowing things. I heard there's some tiny statues, and I'm sure everything is like of Elvish or lore based.
You pick up like a beautiful, elegant little statue of a horse, and you're like, good. And you put it into the bag.
Oh, petty larceny.
Oh my god, can I get like a whole little range of like 5 little ponies to play with?
Gorbjorn figures out what he's into in this exact moment. He's like, wait a minute, this horse is so tiny. But you were informed that there is a sigil behind this painting.
All right, so you're suggesting that it's warded or booby trapped or something?
It looks magic. I assume so.
I have no idea how to deal with that.
Me neither.
Seems like a problem for Roshan, but that is one of the things on our list. Maybe we should return to that on our way out when we have Roshan again. He's the only one I can think of that would have any sort of idea of what to do.
With my 19, did I see like any orcish art or like art of orcs?
Art of orc. One moment.
Yeah, are these people racist?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm just like, it would have to be such a high roll. There is a painting that looks like it is of, go ahead and roll history or religion. See how that fares for you.
Oh, because I am. Only was in that one, but it was still kind of bad. So history or religion. Oh yeah, I got zeros in those, so that's still an 8.
Perfect. You do see a painting. And the thing is, you can't see color, so you're just guessing at this point.
Yeah, it's just all gray.
But it's a painting that looks like a big battlefield. And you're like, I think these 2 dudes look like orcs.
I'm totally into that. Is it one of the glowing ones?
Go ahead and roll me a luck check.
D20.
Yep.
Natural 1.
Oh,
It is one of the glowing ones.
Damn.
We'll come back.
Aw.
Just holding 2 little horses. Don't worry, boys.
We'll clomp into battle eventually.
So are the
I
2
just
of you now
imagine-
heading upstairs to pursue your friends? Is that what you're doing?
Is there any more downstairs to explore? Because I
Yeah.
pointed out
That
something
you could
below.
see.
I at least want to find. So
Yes.
I'm gonna be moving rugs.
Yeah,
Okay,
is there a basement? Because you said that Gorbjorn saw something below us. Are there stairs to a basement?
You did not see any cellar type situation, doors, stairs outside.
Yeah, so I'm
And
moving
from your
rugs.
perception checks of recent, you do not see one inside on the first floor. You don't see anything.
All right.
Gorbjorn, you pull up rugs, nothing standing out to you.
I'm gonna pee on one.
Perfect. Dick out, moving upstairs. Meanwhile, 2 invisible people clutch at each other, one of them blind. and you all move forward. You get to the
But
top.
the blind one makes it impossible for us to be traced. So
Here's hoping. You get to the top, moving up. How does stairs work? Okay. At the top, there is the central area that you could see where the statue went up. So it's not like you could walk directly from one side to the other. You'd have to sort of follow around the edges. But up here, you see, I'll say 4 doors. On the side you entered on the left side, there's 1 door. On the right side, there are 2 doors. And to the front, there's the door to the balcony. There is now some semblance of light.
So the side
enough
that
to
we're
see
on
by?
is the left side.
Yeah, you are on. Actually, how stairs work. If I were doing stairs, no, you would follow this way up. Yes, you're on the left side.
Okay, and down that hallway, can we see any of the, like a rug on a runner rug or?
Go ahead and roll perception for me.
Okay. 23.
There's rugs, but none of them are matching the description.
Okay. I'll ask Nana. I think it might be safer to switch to me detecting magic. Is it okay if we drop the invisibility act?
I think so. I can maintain pass without trace for a while yet.
Okay.
That should cover us enough.
Then I will drop that and cast detect magic. And is there anything in this hallway on the left side with 1 door that lights up?
So just to give you the big picture, you can see it's not exactly a hallway. It's sort of an arch on each side, and that's where the doors are. So there's the opening in the center where the statue comes up, and then there's the walkway around it where there's a door on this side and then 2 on this side, and then the balcony. And you can see the silhouette of a guard sitting there looking outwards into the night.
Are any of the doors magic?
Let's find out. You start, so you are going to kind of like, you lean against the railing a bit to get the other side within range of your vision. None of the doors illuminate.
Okay, then I would like to check the one on the left to see if there's traps or something. I'm not a rogue.
Roll investigation.
Can I assist him by like?
Oh, you don't
You
need
can't
to.
see.
Ooh,
This is a nat 20
Hell yeah, my boy! Good job.
for a 26.
Mm.
Oh, investigation? Yes, 26.
Yeah, yeah.
She is locked.
And me with no knock spell, and you with no thieves' tools. Shit.
Well, that's.
I think we should try going up the other side.
Let's. All right.
Yes, either you could go back down the stairs and kind of up a little bit, or you could walk by the balcony doors to get to the other side.
We do still have pass without trace on.
Yeah, let's.
I don't know if you want to chance it.
I'll let you decide. You are the consummate expert on stealth.
Am I? I feel like that's Gorbjorn. But okay. How close to where we would be walking is that guard on the balcony? Like, what's the distance between?
Farthest you could get from him is under 10 feet. You guys would be
Ooh.
kind of within, like, if he leaned out and you leaned forward, you guys could probably high five each other if you wanted to.
Oh, fuck.
How about no?
That's that seems pretty chancy.
All right, then we can go down and around.
I think we should.
So it's currently the other team is pulling up rugs at the moment while you guys go up and over to the other side. Team upstairs, give me a stealth check. Add 10.
Yay!
Ooh, 29.
Oof. Is that? Damn. 35.
All right. You go to the other side. There are 2 doors.
Okay.
Neither glow with magic, so just try the closest one.
You try the one closest to the stairs.
It's
She's locked, Beach.
How about the third door?
I'll give you one guess, Beach.
King damn it.
Is it locked?
Of course.
It's 100% locked. All the doors are locked.
Every single one. All right.
What a
Yeah,
paranoid
every door
motherfucker.
that you have encountered is locked.
All right, let's go tag team then.
Yeah. I think
Maybe-
we need to.
I hope we can find them.
What do you call it? We can trade partners.
I mean,
That would work too.
whatever works. If we got a do-si-do, I don't care.
All right. I'm going to say, as you both coincidentally meet in the center of the stairwell, everyone visible now, Nana sort of grabbed by the arm to not run into them. But all of you are now together again.
Fen, there are 3 doors upstairs. None of them seemed magic, but all 3 were locked. So
We
I
found
can
2
open those.
paintings.
We found the painting, but Gorbjorn says there's some sort of magical sigil behind it, and I don't know what that does. I was hoping maybe your experience with things arcane might be useful in identifying that or potentially diffusing it if it's some sort of trap. You want to stay with Gorbjorn and he can point out the valuable things that he would like to steal, and I'll take Nana upstairs?
I'll
sure.
say Roshan go. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I've got
Or-
to check out the paintings anyway, so I'll stay
Yeah.
here for a hot minute.
Okay. So Nana and Fen, upstairs team. Roshan and Gorbjorn, downstairs team. Roshan, it smells like piss down here.
Big
Weird.
old orc piss.
I'm
sure
it's
you
a
know what that
familiar
smells like.
piss.
Hmm.
It's oddly familiar.
I've smelled
Nutty.
this around the latrine hole.
You make your way downstairs, and this painting and another painting are pointed out to you. And he says there is a sigil behind it.
Does it glow with abjuration magic? Or
Do you have detect magic? You do have detect magic.
Yeah, you do.
He's had it active for
Mine's
a minute.
about to end.
Shit.
Well, I just activated as we got inside. Have I been stealing
Yeah.
things for 10 minutes? I felt like it's been.
I
You're
don't think it would take 10 minutes to go upstairs and find the doors locked.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
yeah, we're approaching 10 minutes, but you still got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
It is evocation.
Is the painting flush against the wall?
Yes. Well, there is probably just like a slight hang. If you look behind it, give me investigation.
Can I help him?
Sure, you can see. You both are magically enhanced. You're like, yeah.
Investigation's at 22.
Okay. You look on one side, Corbjorn sort of like looks on the other and
I'm
gives
like
you a thumbs up.
slowly like lifting the painting just like an inch or two, or like less than that, just so like he can get a better look in.
Corbjorn, I'd like you to give me sleight of hand, please.
Oh, I was just helping him.
Be good.
Boy.
Help.
That is a 13.
Okay. Okay.
If
You
this sets
start to
us-
pull this up. Roshan, I'm going to give you a little chance on this one. Actually, both of you can see this. As you start to move the painting back, the sigil begins to burn brighter.
No.
No.
And you
Um,
casually put it back. But Roshan, in that split second that it was pulled ever so slightly away, you can see that it is hanging on some sort of hook, like hook, and then there is the wire that is connected to the painting, and the sigil is against where the hook is.
Okay, then we're going to do this the bad boy way. Gorbjorn, hold it as steady as you can. I'm going to pull out a dagger and just run it along the frame, trying not to move the frame, but letting the painting slide out.
Okay. This is going to be a sleight of hand. Gorbjorn giving you advantage by holding the painting.
Oh, I give him one of my crowny things. D6.
Bardic
for-
inspiration?
Crowny.
Yeah, my party inspiration.
Bardic
The party
inspiration.
stuff.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So
Crowny crown.
you
Fuck
said
yeah.
sleight of hand. 23.
Plus
All
a
right.
D6 if you want it in the next minute.
It's up to you if you want
I
it or not.
already used it.
Oh,
Ah.
Well,
If
there
you
you
go.
go.
okay.
Like the real thieves you are, you cut the picture out of the frame.
Amazing.
And
Get fucked,
holding it
everybody.
steady,
Just roll that up.
and
Slide that in
you-
the bag.
have a painting.
1 out of 3, baby.
Okay, this one next.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Can I check behind the battle painting?
You have a pretty good assessment that it's the same sort of situation. They have the same sigil.
Mm.
All right. Yes, I'll do it. Absolutely.
We have to make it look like it's not a targeted attack. It's gotta
Yeah.
be generalized.
Maybe this is
Everything's
embarrassing.
been burgled.
It might have
Um,
embarrassing, incriminating evidence on the back.
It's red as fuck.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Got it, boy.
I got one more crown. Do you want it now?
No.
Or okay, that's what I thought.
Not yet. Not yet.
17.
Mm.
Upstairs,
Oh god,
Ben
no!
and
How
Nana.
dare you! Fuck.
Damn it, Josh! If
Going
we
up-
fireball this painting.
The only one
It
you
wasn't
want.
the one we were paid to get. At least it's not the one we were paid to take.
Exactly.
Nana and Fen, you go upstairs, ending up on the side with the 2 doors. Across the way is the 1 door, and then there's the balcony.
I'm assuming that, like, Roshan described to Nana where the doors are that we noticed were locked, and Nana was, like, able
There's
to gauge.
there's doors. Fen can see them so easily. They're all locked.
Okay,
So you're like, it's over here somewhere, and he's like, thanks, man.
I got you.
You're like, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can see 90 feet in darkness.
That makes one of
but-
us.
But Fen, on the side you are on currently, there are 2 doors.
All right. Use my thieves tool to try to unlock the closest one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll dexterity mod plus proficiency.
It's a 12.
Okay. Let's see. She seems a little sturdy.
All right, this one's a bitch. Let's skip it for now. We'll try
We'll
again
come
later.
back. We'll come back. So
You
around to the next
shuffle
one.
Yeah.
closer to the man on the balcony,
Yes.
but to the second door. Go ahead and
being
roll
quiet.
thieves' tools.
Better. That's a 17.
Okay. This door pops open, and now you have a vague idea. You think they're similar locks, but you think you just had a better go of it.
Okay.
And the door slowly opens. I'd love stealth from the two of you. You add 10. We still have pass without trace.
Mm-hmm. Even 30.
28.
I heard 88 and honestly wouldn't doubt it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But you all slip into the room with a quick glance around. There is a large bed. There's a dresser, there's a mirror, and on top of the dresser, there is a beautiful vase. Using your brains just real fast, easy to tell because of an energy from a room, you know. The bed looks very well maintained. It's probably a guest room.
Okay.
Okay.
So probably not where he would be keeping his secret safe, but is there an ornate carpet on the ground?
Fen can see a carpet. It's not of the world tree.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take that vase and I'm gonna. So the balcony outside has doors that open up to it, or
Yes. And there's the doors, a man, and then the knight.
okay. I'm gonna put that vase outside of that door, so that if it's opened, the vase gets knocked over and the guard thinks he did it. And
I would love new stealth checks, please,
okay,
as you are walking up to this door.
$38.
27.
Okay. Fingers crossed. You place the vase there. Fen, give me a perception check, Nana, disadvantage.
Fair. Oh boy.
24.
Perception clocks in at an 11, my dude.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see the guy on the balcony. That's the best thing you got. But Fen, as you start to, you're like, okay. Would you start walking towards the third door, or would you try to go back to the door you were at originally?
Go to the third door, the one we haven't gone to yet.
As you start to make your way around, Nana in hot pursuit, you're sort of in a spot where, like, in your periphery, you can see the other doors, and you can see the first door you tried slightly ajar. And then it closes ever so slowly, barely an audible click. But that door was open and just closed.
Cool. Gonna continue on to the third door. I don't want to go into the room with the person in it.
Yeah. I don't think that'd help us.
Well, Nana doesn't know about it yet.
Okay.
Nope. Sure
As
don't.
she's like, there's a door here somewhere that I'm aware of.
I know there is one.
Fen, you're welcome to use thieves' tools.
Okay. A 19.
19. The door clicks open. And both of you hear the creak of wood behind you.
Shit.
And turning, there is an armed figure that has entered the second floor. And that's where we're going to stop for today.
Fuck!
Thank you all so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. And I can only promise you that the top of the next episode is going to have an energy to it. As everything pops off at once. So thank you all for being here. Really
There's
appreciate it.
nothing
Love
to
telling
pop.
you guys a
Not a
story.
damn thing.
On Tuesdays bi-weekly, we have Legends of Theia, which is run by Frank. If you're looking for some Dungeons and Dragons 5e, little fun, little fighting monsters, kicking ass, taking names, bring a drink, bring a snack. That is every other Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. See, the thing is, hey, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll know exactly when everything's happening. So twitter.com/the dice cult. You
should
know
be
exactly when
following.
everything's going live.
100%.
And on Wednesdays bi-weekly, we have Cordially Invited, another Dungeons
More
and Dragons
dragons.
5e game. Cordially Invited is about a lovely group of people planning a royal wedding, and there has definitely not been mistrust and bloodshed and drama by
None
the
of those
bucket.
things happen at weddings. None of them
No.
happened.
So if you're interested in a definitely not dramatic and probably beautiful wedding, you can join Cordially Invited over on YouTube, youtube.com/the dice cult. They go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and Last Remaining Light, which goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Currently, the party, I'm not going to say they were riding high. The coterie wasn't, living the dream. But they were on their way out of town, and, eventually you get caught by the cops.
They were very rude.
You get got. The tank is unconscious, and the party is trapped on a boat with a very strong vampire who is very fast and has all the intention of bringing everybody to Elysium to say their piece before they are inevitably murdered.
Oh boy!
So hopefully everybody besides me can figure that out because I'm unconscious. So I don't have to worry about a damn thing. Hell yeah. So if you're interested in the trickery or carnage or drama or death that will occur on Saturday, you could join us for Masquerade and Last Remaining Light.
It'll be great.
If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. Just posted on Instagram a little hero forge of Olavi. If you're interested in what our crime daddy looks like, Gorbjorn's new interest for love, for lust, or for information. Maybe one day we'll find out. But
Maybe
first,
it's all three.
a heist, which is going so well, you guys.
Oh, super great. Yeah, definitely not going wrong at all. Just like the wedding.
I just loved that. Do you want a bardic? No. I'm good,
got
bitch.
this.
I've got it, bitch.
And then
and maybe it. And this is just for the drama. But thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Love telling you a story. We will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.